there yarn lovers, it's Gary and I'm coming to you from my chill room in my house on Vancouver Island in Canada. So welcome. Today is Wednesday, June the 14th, 2023, but you won't be seeing this video until it drops on Friday, June 16th, 2023, as we will be wrapping up hashtag on holiday with Hobby. Hobby reached out to me about 8 weeks ago and asked me whether I'd like to choose some yarn to talk about a promotion that they were building, and it will be finished as of this video viewing, on the holiday inspirations that people love to make their crafts for, or if you go on holidays, whether you'd like to actually craft something when you're traveling. So there are many different ways of we could have tackled this. And yeah, so I want to say thank you to Hobby for sponsoring the yarn in this video. My personal inspiration that I took from was back when I was 20, that was a long time ago, I traveled to the southern part of Spain and into Morocco, which is the northern country on the continent of Africa. So in Spain, I visited a place called Granada, and one of the highlights of going into Granada was to the Alhambra Palace. This palace was built by the Moors in ancient times. I don't know exactly what decade or what century it was, but the Moors were the reigning people of the time in that region, and they built this amazing palace. Now, the Alhambra Palace has incredible carvings, beautiful courtyards, wonderful water features, as well as archways and rooms, very decadently carved. And the mosaics are what actually spurred me on and stick in my mind for picking projects that I'm going to show you. The second place was when I traveled to Morocco. I caught the ferry across that waterway there between Spain and Morocco. And I ended up going to 3 different cities in Morocco, and I discovered that each of the cities had these wonderful Medina villages. So a protected wall village, which had these amazing gateways to enter into the village, full of carvings and mosaics, just beautiful, beautiful gates. So a few of the places that I visited was Tangier, Fez, and Marrakesh, and each of them wonderful in their own right, and each of them having wonderful mosaics. So I chose another pattern. One is knit and one is crochet, to do with those inspiration points. So let's get started and talking about the yarn that Hobby had sent me to use on these projects. First up, we have, for project 1, I used alpaca silk and sweet tweed. Alpaca silk is a fingering weight yarn. It's really, really nice and soft. 70% alpaca, 30% mulberry silk, and there's 166 meters or 181 yards. And this one here is sweet tweed, which is a Heinz variety of different fibers. It's 40% acrylic, 21% polyamide, 13% mohair, 13% wool, 9% cotton, 4% polyester. It's classified a lace weight or a 0 weight yarn. And this also has similar yardage to it. The balls actually started and finished relatively in the same spot, so it was easy to manage the yarn. It's saying here 165 meters or 180 yards. So I held these two together to get my fabric, and I do have a swatch here. Here we go. There's my swatch. The pattern that I did my swatch to, oh, I'm showing you the wrong side. There we go. Was slightly larger, but I didn't mind that because it was color work, and I knew that I was going to get more of shrinkage with having to do some slip stitching and carrying my yarn across. So I thought that perhaps maybe it would be a good call to go with the large in the pattern. So beautiful fabric that it made, really, really squishy. And I love the two yarns together. It's soft. I could wear this against my skin, but then if you had any sensitivity to a wool factor, this might not be a good yarn for you. Or you might want to put something in between your skin and this, but for me, I could wear that against my skin with no issues. The softness factor for me is like a 4 out of 5, 5 being the most softest. And the colorways I should talk to you about. This is called Pearl Beach, or color number 5. And this one is light gray. And I think Hobby, yep, that's color number 11. I think the labels just have numbers, but when you're on the website, they give them names. Now, because it's mosaic and color work, and the pattern that I chose is 2 colors, I had paired it with this set here, holding it double again. And this again is the alpaca silk. I'm holding that upside down in the colorway Raven, or color number 8. And this one here, I believe it was called dark gray, but it's looking more charcoal to me. And the color number is 12. I held those 2 together. The pattern, let's take a look at the pattern. I really enjoyed working with the yarn. There was no splitting. I did have a couple of errors in the pattern, so I had to frog back, and the 2 yarns together, because I held them together, they created no issues whatsoever to frog. So I'm going to say frog friendly value was probably a 4 out of 5, 5 being the most friendly to frog. And this is the pattern here that I've chosen. It's a free pattern on Ravelry that I found. I'll include it down in the description box, and it's by Lisa Richardson. It's called the Mosaic. Now, it's a crop top here, and I've changed it up to work it into a male's form. So I'm stopping, I didn't do the shaping on the sides. There's a few decreases and increases to get the hourglass type shape. So I kept mine boxy, and I didn't do any of that shaping. I eliminated the arms, so I'm going to be doing a sweater vest. So I'll just do ribbing. And as I mentioned, I'm doing the large, but this is a pattern that has 5 sizes, small all the way up to XXL. And I haven't finished it, but it's so involved and intricate with the slip stitching and the different levels of my learn, was that I'm actually following a chart that has 16 stitch repeat across in the rows, and then 32 row repeat. So it's quite involved, and this is it here. I'm about maybe 3 or 4 more rounds before I split for the arms, and then it will be a quicker kind of section at the top. I am finding that I'm needing to probably have to complete the project 4 of each of those balls. So 4 of the sweet tweed in the charcoal, and 4 of the sweet tweed in light gray, 4 of the alpaca in the Pearl Beach, and 4 of the alpaca silk in Raven. So that will probably get me to the finish line of this project. And the fabric is working up really nice and bouncy. It's very stretchy and has a halo to it. So it's gonna be a nice warm variety of sweater vests that I'm making here. Good for cooler weather, maybe from the autumn all the way into spring. I could see myself wearing this, not so much in summer, but I absolutely love the design of this pattern work. So yeah, I'm using my Chargoose 3.5mm set of knitting needles. Now I did change up, not just excluding the sleeves, which I am intending to get to, but the shaping as well. I didn't do the shaping, but I'm following the chart in a circular formation. So I'm doing this, the front and back together, and the pattern does call for it to be built in panels, but I thought I'd eliminate the process of having to turn my works and do 2 panels, and I'm just doing it in the circle. Now, because there are 16 stitches in the repeat for the rows, it's not landing on the seam line precisely when the 16 stitches are done, so it's cutting into it, and I'm getting this interesting mirrored effect here of the patterning. on the seam line, and I don't mind that. It's quite interesting. I like how it changes, and it's on the same with the other seam line here. You're getting the same kind of mirror image, and I really am enjoying the pattern. The yarn is working out lovely, and it is reminding me a lot of those mosaic tile work that I saw on both of those trips that I made when I was in Spain and Morocco. My second pattern that I'm working on for the hashtag on holiday with hobby, I was supplied with this Dolce Cashmere yarn, and I am using this colorway here. So that's the label there. The Dolce Cashmere is a line that is made up of 62 wool, 25 polyamide, and 10% cashmere. And the balls of yarn that you're seeing in this instance right now is called the Rose Gold, or colorway number 7. And this is incredibly soft. I give this like a 4.5 out of 5 for softness. An equally bouncy yarn, it creates a lovely fabric, and I've got a series of these in the next project that I'm using. So this colorway here features in there, as well as the Sangria colorway, which is a purple colorway. I don't have the label on it, but this is the colorway here. I'm working from the inside of this one to get that nice gold color first up, and the outside of this one, which had the purplish mauve color, and then it goes into a deep purple there, a sangria color, as the name suggests. So I'm using those together, and in conjunction, Hobby had also sent me a couple of other colors that I requested in the alpaca silk, and I've used this one here. It's called Arctic Lichen, so it's a beautiful green colorway, or the colorway number is 21. And I am not sure if I'm going to be using these two, but there's a possibility the brown might get in it, which is called Marrakesh. And if you're looking for the colorway number, it's 29. Really beautiful color there. And that's upside down. And this one here is the colorway called Venezia, and it's color number 17. So it's a steely blue color. The pattern that I'm using for this is called the Fields of Clover by Lily Go. It is a paid for pattern. It comes in sizes that you can choose to build it in. I'm doing the extra large because I have a lot of yarn to use, and it ranges from a small size all the way up, and I think there's 3 or 4 sizes that you can build this pattern to. And it's charts as well as written, as well as there are some key photographs on how to treat certain things in the pattern that may be kind of confusing. So there are clarification on stitch work there. So this is what it is right now. Make sure I'm showing you the right way. So as I'm building it from this corner here. It's getting larger on one side, so it's creating this obscure shape, like a shape that's sort of on an angle. And I started with the rose gold Dolce Cashmere, and I added in the Arctic Lichen from the Hobby alpaca silk, and then intermingle them here. Goes back into this lace work here, which is again the rose gold. And then around here, I stop using the Arctic Lichen and I add in the Sangria, which is the purple. And that's what I'm playing with right now, is the purple and the rose gold. And I will have another 3 sections to do of the ridging and lace work, and then I move into the mosaic, and I'm really looking forward to it. So it's going to be quite a big piece. With this yarn, the cashmere gold, the Dolce Cashmere, you do have to block your work with this because it does have that bounce And if you were to leave this unblocked, your garment would not potentially lay flat, because right now I can see some kind of undulating and bulging of the fabric because it's so bouncy. And once you block it, it'll flatten out and all the lace work will lay out, open up and lay the same consistently. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So what do you think? I love it. It's going to be quite a big piece, because I will say maybe halfway through, and then there's another half which is even longer again. It's going to be a nice cozy piece to wear, and I love the colors. So that is my hobby review on the yarn, as well as the hashtag on holiday with hobby. I hope you enjoyed the vacation that I took you on, and I loved hearing about your vacations as well. Did you make anything for the hashtag? If you did, I'd love to see them. So maybe in the comment section, you could write where you had posted your hashtag, and I'd love to take a look at it. So with that, I think that catches you up on everything. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.